Hey everybody, welcome back to the RubberDuck Recruiter. We have a new segment starting on the channel. I'm going to start posting opportunities when they become available for recruiters. I know that that's mostly what my audience is, so when I have a great opportunity come up, on the off chance that you're a subscriber and you're looking for one, you can watch this video. And today we have a special guest. This is Chris Bloomquist. He comes from hello. He's come from the back, or where are you? It looks like you're somewhere very nice. Probably a closet, but where are you actually right now?
Well, it looks like I'm in the cornfields. I mean, the beaches of Iowa, but no, I'm talking from the Midwest and dreaming of being on the beach. There you go.
Okay, there you go. Well, thanks for being with us, Chris.
You bet.
So Chris works for the Talent Mine. It's an emerging agency, a consultancy that is focusing on hiring tech talent. And I believe you have an opportunity for, I think, 2 roles for recruiters. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, I appreciate that, Tim. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, we do specialize in technology positions, but if a client says, hey, we need to find good tech recruiters, well, we're not going to say no. So here we are.
Fantastic. So what I want to do with the rest of this call is let's just talk about what somebody who would be interested would want to know. What's the company like?
Absolutely.
What's the location, salary? What tools will they have? What responsibilities can they expect across the recruitment life cycle? And then we'll finish this up with next steps, how they can apply, so on and so forth. So you can just take it away.
I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate that, Tim. You know, to get started, just so the audience knows, I've been in tech recruiting for 15 years. I'm a former software engineer myself, and I'm also quite selective on the opportunities that I go for. So, you know, just so everyone knows, like, we try to represent positions that I personally would believe in and be excited about, and this is one of them. This client's actually in the cybersecurity space, and in particular, they help the agencies like the FBI, the NSA, the CIA find cybersecurity professionals. So it's I could tell you more about the client, but I have to kill you, right? So it's but there's a cool purpose and mission behind it. Like, you're trying to help secure our borders from a cybersecurity standpoint. And so the mission, should you choose to accept it, there's actually 2 positions, both a mid-level and senior level technical recruiter role. The ideal candidates, I mean, if you had a background in recruiting not only kind of niche technical positions, but ones that take a lot of rigor, where you have to have, you know, top secret clearance, understand maybe how to navigate, you know, that top secret arena within the government, and how to vet out those kinds of candidates, 11 former military and whatnot. That's certainly a bonus, but not a requirement. I'd say, like, the best candidates are going to be candidates that recruiters that understand the full life cycle of recruiting, right? So, I mean, Tim, you and I both know it's like you segment out recruiting from sourcing and, you know, the desking part of it, and kind of talking candidates through opportunity and placing them, and there's an HR component to recruitment.
Is there one side of the rec that this is more, I guess you could say, focused on? Is it more focused on maybe the front end of sourcing? Would somebody who comes from an agency or an internal background in recruiting be more suited for this role? Like, just kind of tell me about that a little bit.
Sure, that's the right question. So this is going to be someone that already has done and wants to do end to end. So that if you can manage the entire process, this would be your baby, right? You wouldn't be one of 20 recruiters in a big machine like Amazon. This is like, hey, you're our senior tech recruiter, and you're going to do everything soup to nuts. You know, post the position. You know, before that, even qualifying the position with the director of engineering, the hiring managers, understand what they're looking for, let them know what's realistic or not, talking to them about what you're seeing in the market, post the position, source the candidates in every ethical means possible. You know, advertise it, evangelize it, reach out to your network. So gauge interest in it, gain interest in it. Tell them about the position, place them in the position, close them, and making sure that they are compliant through the process, including, you know, the HR onboarding piece of it. So you really are doing the whole thing, even the negotiation.
Every part of the life cycle. Gotcha.
Yep.
Great.
So someone that likes to do everything and has breadth in their background is going to really enjoy this.
So somebody that is maybe stuck at an Amazon, or somebody that is maybe stuck in a role where they're pigeonholed into just sourcing, and they've kind of lost a lot of the, you know, the personal development that is embedded in being a recruiter, would really love being in this role. And I think I don't know if you mentioned on this call, but I know from other talks that we've had that you're looking for two roles. One of them is a
Right.
senior and one of them is a mid-level. And I
Yep.
assume, and these are the first two recruiters at this company. So that's kind of a unique thing. Just expand on that a little bit.
That's a great question. So yeah, it's greenfield in that regard. So yeah, if you're up and coming, 3+ years or so into it, and you just want to expand your skill set, but you've owned the entire process, and you want to work with a good senior recruiter, like, hey, you and a friend can both apply to this and both get the job. I mean, that's kind of fun, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
You and a mentor or a mentee, right? Um, Permanent, full benefits. Yeah, right now the recruitment is done by the head of recruitment, the director of recruitment actually, and you would report to her. This position's actually based out of the Washington, D.C. area where all the cybersecurity intel action is that relates to, government cybersecurity. So you'd be right in the heart of it. The other cool thing is because, unfortunately with coronavirus, it might be a bummer that's going on, but the good is that remote flexibility and opportunity does exist. They'd want someone to come in the office once, maybe twice every few months. So if you live in like the
Wow.
Northeast,
So it's basically a remote role if they want it to be.
it basically is. It basically is. I mean, you'd want to be able to go to the DC area maybe, once every few months or so, but for the most part, you're going to have autonomy and flexibility, which is also great.
That's fantastic. I love that. I think that's a big, becoming a huge perk in recruiting is that we can work anywhere now. We can work in, pretend backgrounds.
The beaches of Iowa.
I think you're actually either in Santa Cruz or LA there. I don't know. You'd have to look it up, but I recognize the lifeguard thing. Okay, great. So you said it's in Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area. You said that this is a cybersecurity company. You talked about it kind of being mission impossible. They don't need a security clearance, but they're working with people that have to have passed polygraph tests and that have to have these special security clearances. But they are one of the few people in the company that can come in and don't have to have that pre-qualification. So that's good to know.
Also correct.
This is Greenfield. They're essentially going to be bringing in their sense of ownership, kind of, not being thrown into all of these worn down policies, but being able to be a proactive developer of that, which is really effing cool. You talked about the responsibilities. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Salary. What can they expect in this role?
Yep, like any shrewd recruiter would tell you, it's like, oh, we're open to the market, right? DOE depends on experience.
I put you on the spot a little bit, but your company seems pretty transparent, so I figured I'd ask you about that.
I'm glad you're asking, Tim. So I would say, it would make sense based on the years of experience to bring to the table, but I think a better way to say it would be you should be earning at least 85, 90K a year to be qualified. Right? Where you're high enough in the food chain, you've done this for a few years. So we'll say 90K minimum up to, 120 or so base salary, not including, benefits, paid time off is a permanent position. There are, annual bonuses and 401k. We can get into those specifics, but a better way to say it's probably like market. We'll pay market based on the candidate and it's not going to be, you're going to, retire tomorrow because you're making so much money. It's not going to be unfair either. It's going to be within market conditions. That's a fair way to look at it.
And I mean, a lot of recruiters know this, but the good thing about perm positions is you don't have to worry about kind of how big is the chunk of change that the contract is taking. This is a perm position, so
evangelize the company. You'll do well if you do that. Yep.
Exactly. And I think that you mentioned that. So you said 401k, 6% match, and then I think it was what was the other one? Was there a bonus structure there? Can they?
Discretionary bonus, yep.
Okay.
And so that kind of fluctuates over time, but paid time off. The main thing is, I think it's two things really. If it were me and I'm excited about it, it's because I believe in the mission of doing something uniquely positive for our country in terms of, hey, you're serving our country to make it more cyber secure. That's a really cool thing if you think about this day and age of where cybersecurity is headed. So you're working on bleeding edge technology, doing something that our country desperately needs to do. And then the autonomy that, hey, we're going to treat you like an adult. You're not one of 20 recruiters in a big machine. You get to own this, right? You get to put your stamp on building really a startup company culture of about 80 or so employees. Like they're fairly small, but they do really high impact work. And so it's like if you want the startup mentality without the risk and want high impact, this is the kind of role for you.
That's fantastic. Okay, I think that we've probably covered everything they would need to know, especially since the YouTube algorithm states that videos over 10 minutes tend to lose viewership. So fair enough. What would next steps be here, Chris?
Absolutely. So by all means, engage with Tim as a first point of contact, or myself, but really Tim's the man on this. He's got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it
And
in a link in the description to you to your company so they can apply directly to you. But I assume that you'll be just kind of,
Tim and I work
looking.
together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So work
All
together
right.
on this. And yeah, bottom line, like Tim mentioned earlier, we're transparent, right? We've both been in the industry for a number of years. We respect the recruitment process. We believe in transparency. So obviously we get on the phone with you and you have a Q&A session for us. We'll be very transparent who the client is, what they expect, why it's open, all those kinds of good things, and happy to engage.
Okay, awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much for your time. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you giving this small, growing community of recruiters a possible opportunity that could be the next job for them. So that's fantastic. Okay, well, I will see you if you ever have another recruiting role. You'll get back on this channel. I'm gonna try to do this weekly.
I
Cool.
love it. Thanks.
And people can connect with you on LinkedIn. I'm gonna put your LinkedIn description if that's all right.
Absolutely. Chris Bloomquist, founder of the Talent Mind. By all means, reach out to me directly. Let them know you saw this video, and happy to always make a new connection and help you out.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for your time, Chris.
Thank you, Tim.
Bye.